Shraddha Walker, I mean, we all, the memories are fresh, how Aftab Poonawalla had chopped her body into pieces. This happened
really
right
gruesome.
here.
It was really gruesome.
Absolutely. And the repeat has happened in Mumbai. This time around, this person, 56 years old, has killed his living partner, allegedly, though the police have taken him into custody. And the forensic team is also taking a look at his house in Bhayandar. And the details, Kabir, in itself are so gory that for anyone and everyone, this would come across as a shocker that why on earth the kind of animosity that two people could have, that he did not just chop her body into 20 or more than 20 pieces, but he also
used a pressure cooker to boil it.
To boil the body parts, and that was the foul smell that reached the neighbors, and then police were called.
So through the wafting foul smell, the neighbors get to know that something wrong's at play
Unusual
in
smell, yes.
in the flat and the residence next door, and that's when they call in the police. Let's quickly take the viewers through that as well. Now, this is the chilling incident that evoked memories of a notorious murder case. Of course, Pankaj has already spoken about that one, the Shraddha Walker case. A man in Mumbai has been arrested for killing his live-in partner, chopping up her body, which is why now you can make sense of the visuals of various bags that the forensic team was picking up and carrying, and even boiling some of the remains in a pressure cooker. Now, the victim, Saraswati Vaidya, was found decomposed in her apartment after residents complained of a foul smell emanating from the premises. The suspect, Manoj Sane, had been in a living relationship with Vaidya for 3 years. I mean, it is quite appalling. Please get down in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, those who are watching this live stream right now. Help us understand what you're going through. What's your opinion about this heinous crime? Pankaj, what's happening to this man, Sane, now? Clearly, he's not sane. I mean, just like his surname suggests, S-A-N-E, quite the opposite, an insane act of gruesome crime that he's committed. Chopping up the body parts of somebody that you've been in a living relationship with for 3 years. I mean, these are not some teenagers, fighting it out. It looks to me like a grown-up man. What might have happened? What is it that you're picking up? What is the internet abuzz with right now?
Well, the latest details are equally gruesome, Kabir. The thing is, this happened in Meera Road, by the way. And Manoj Sane, 56 years old person, he very recently, Saraswati Vaidya was staying with her. She was 32 years old. And when the neighbor, noticed this foul smell, he went to Manoj Sane's apartment, to the gate. He knocked at the door. No one opened the door. After that, when he kept knocking at the door, he heard the sound of spray, the perfume spray that we use, or the room freshener sort of thing. Then Manoj Sane opened the door, and he said that he is heading out for some work, and he said he is not going to be there at home. Later on, the neighbor informed the police. They came, they opened the door, and then they found 2 cutters, including an electric one. It was a wood cutter, basically the saw that is used, electric one. And the police said that they have found it, and police also found 3 buckets in kitchen, which Manoj had allegedly dumped the woman's body parts in. So this is, again, when we got to know about Shraddha Walker's case, and as our viewers would also agree, it was something that we hadn't imagined, the kind of brutality, the kind of intense hatred that one would harbor. And then we have this.
We've got Samiran Rai joining us in the chat box. He says that I believe that nobody should have to go through such a horrendous murder.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, see, there are limits after which repressed emotions become dangerous. We have known this, we have heard about them, we have heard about this. But this kind of repressed emotion or anger or hatred, when comes out, it depends on person to person how he or she is going to react. Think of that, I don't think even Aftab was even 30 or not, but that young person killing Shraddha Walker, dismembering her body parts, and then throwing it all around Delhi.
First, living in the same house with those body parts in the fridge while you're having other people come over and
Right.
keeping that as a secret. I mean, something like this to me personally is going to eat me up alive.
Exactly. So the thing is, the catharsis part. When you think that what would you would have done in such scenario, or whether you would do these things or not. So we generally shiver. We close our eyes. We think, no. What is?
It's unthinkable. You don't think
yes.
about it because you think it's
Exactly.
unthinkable.
But there are human beings, and this is the reality of society also, and that's why police is there. That's why the law and order situation is there. I mean, this might be very basic thing.
You know,
but yes.
even in Aftab's case and Shraddha Walker's case also, there is the case of consumption of, narcotics. But a similarity again comes with the OTT platforms now putting out those, heinous crime series and thrillers, and I love them too. I don't essentially want, people to say that, the news channels and the journalism industry is hitting out on OTT channels. But yes, there are Ted Bundy tapes. There are people who have actually carried out those gruesome crimes, and there are proper documentaries on them.
Right.
Tapes that have come out online. They would tell you how they did it, why they did it, what went on behind their mind. The FBI's first ever Mindhunter section. People have opened up, proper shows about them, really telling the common man out there that this is how heinous crimes were committed back in the day. How did they get away with it for so long? What were some of the answers that they gave? And basically, you're also intrigued and involved in that gruesome murder story because you think something's wrong in the mind of this person.
Right.
The attraction towards the abnormal is so hefty.
You're right, and in such scenarios, Kabir, one would just wonder that how come someone would do it. But talking about those mysterious murder cases, there was a time back in the day, as you mentioned, and all the TV series that we saw, even so much so that Aftab Poonawalla mentioned, I think, Dexter, one of the popular TV series of being a serial killer. The fact that differentiates this particular murder and Shraddha Walker's murder from rest of the murder mysteries, Kabir, is the fact that there the murderer would flee the place. There would be a manhunt, there would be witnesses being examined, then there would be clues being put together, and then it would be discovered that this particular person, who might or might not be a known person to the victim, is the killer. In these two cases, if you would see, they are the live-in partners. The third person's role is completely ruled out if a person is staying with you and you suddenly vanish from the face of the earth while you are at home. So, the risk that these guys are taking, these murderers are taking, the point is where is this energy and emanating from? How are they even planning this? Because if I am in that place, I would, first of all, I won't commit this event or crime because there is sure shot you will be caught. Are they not factoring this in? Are they thinking
maybe that's their motive? Maybe they think they can get away with it.
But
or maybe the situation has reached a point where they suddenly think
don't
that,
care for it.
They don't care for that anymore. They think the first thing to do is eliminate this person.
Eliminate this person, and that's the fit of rage that we are talking about. That fit of rage, I'm trying to harp on, Kabir. Why are we reaching that point of no return where we are right from inflicting the first injury? I mean, you and I would stop by the first look at the blood, for that matter, and we should not be discussing this on national TV, but things have come to such a pass that the kind of inhumane behavior we are seeing from human species is barbaric, is animal-like, and we should be very wary of this.
Well, absolutely. Samiran Rai again in the chat box says that this murder is too similar to the murder of Abby Choi from Hong Kong. And just to brush up your memory as well, Pankaj, Abby Choi was a Hong Kong model, socialite, and internet celebrity. If I showed you the picture, you'd probably say, I know this person.
Okay.
She went missing this year in February 25th.
I have read about
and
it. Yes,
3 days after she was found murdered with a headless body discovered at a village in the outskirts. I mean, that's what the chat box is saying. I'm just I just want to know that this sends a real wrong message to the youngsters who are consuming this kind of information out there. In quick succession, you've got heinous crimes and murders that are coming to light. Again, puts that law and order question mark and what the administration and the government is doing essentially. But over here, more importantly, it's the stress factor. You know, you would now see that in OTT platforms and in movies as well, criminals or the anti-hero has become a popular concept. You know, it's not just the hero.
Right.
You would really want to know what made this person the villain, and that story is also equally attractive
and equally sympathetic too. And maybe you know, behind these criminal minds, well, they are not criminal until they commit that crime, obviously. But behind that, before committing that crime, is this the sympathy that has been missing, or is this the quest to gain that sympathy which was not coming their way, the reason behind actually resorting to these extreme steps? Maybe a psychiatric, you know, would be able to help us understand, you know, those who have understanding of these physiological and mental issues that are behind such extreme steps. But yes, when the police actually started probing the matter, let's also listen into Jayant Bajbale, who is the Commissioner of Police, and Rekha Sharma later on. Let's play Jayant Bajbale first.
Rekha Sharma of the National Commission for Women.
Yes, we have some sound bites, Kabir. Let's hear the police version
All
first,
right,
and then
let's
we
give
will
that a
go
shot.
to,
Let's give
Rekha.
that a shot.
के जुरिडिक्शन में गीता हाइजिक करके सोसाइटी है, वहाँ पे 7वें फ्लोर 7वें मंजिल से एक फ्लैट है, वहाँ से बदबू आने का इंफॉर्मेशन लोकल पुलिस को मिला था। पुलिस स्टेशन के ऑफिसर्स और स्टाफ ने जाके वहाँ पे देखा, वहाँ से बदबू आने की जो इंफॉर्मेशन थी वो कंफर्म की। वहाँ पे लॉक तोड़ के उन्होंने जब एंट्री किया तो किचन में बहुत सारे यूटेंसिल और बकेट में वहाँ पे चॉप किए हुए बॉडी पार्ट्स मिले हैं। उसमें बाद में इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ऐसा रिवील हो चुका था कि एक कपल था, लिव इन रिलेशन में रह रहा था उधर, उनका आइडेंटिफिकेशन हो चुका है, अक्यूज्ड को भी अरेस्ट किया गया। जो डेड बॉडी के पीसेस मिले वो एनालिसिस के लिए हमने जेजे हॉस्पिटल में भेजे है। इस घटना के आधार पर जो इन्फॉर्मेशन मिला उस बेसिस पे हमने नया नगर पुलिस स्टेशन में आईपीसी सेक्शन 302 201 के तहत मुकदमा दर्ज किया है। आगे का इन्वेस्टिगेशन सीनियर पीआर श्री वनकुटी कर रहे हैं।
ये लिव इन पार्टनर्स के साथ इन रीसेंट पास्ट ये बढ़ते जा रहे हैं ये केसेस, और मुझे लगता है सोसाइटी को सोचना चाहिए कि किस प्रकार हमें अपनी लड़कियों को बचाना है, और कैसे हम सेंसिटाइज करें लोगों को कि अगर आप नहीं रहना चाहते तो आप मूव कर सकते हो, उसमें मारना जरूरी नहीं है आपको अपने पार्टनर को। और लड़कियां इसका बहुत बड़ा शिकार हो रही हैं। अभी बेंगलुरु में भी एक केस आया है, अभी न्यूज में ही आ रहा है। हम दोनों केसेस पे सो मोटो ले रहे हैं, और सोसाइटी में जो सेंसिटिविटी है वो कम होना एक दूसरे के प्रति, हम इंसानियत से थोड़ा परे जा रहे हैं, मुझे ऐसा लगता है। और इसी कारण इस तरह के ग्रोसम मर्डर्स जो हैं बढ़ते जा रहे हैं।
Well, now, you know, Pankaj, investigation is going to go on. The law will take its own course. We've nabbed the person who's done this, you know, committed this heinous crime. And the government, the authorities, the execution, the judiciary, they'll run their own course.
Right.
In the meantime, you know, in terms of couples, relationships, and we spoke about this back in the Shraddha Walker murder case as well, and the murder cases before that. Have we come at a point where we've started taking mental health very lightly? We don't, I mean, I don't know, maybe I myself don't put in that kind of an emphasis on mental health.
Well, Kabir, this is a very emotive and a very critical issue, but let me be very frank here. India में इसकी कोई value नहीं है.
Mental health.
Mental health.
And maybe that's what needs to change?
I will stick my neck out here. Maybe the professionals who are in this industry would say that I am a cynic, I am not looking at the brighter picture, but होनी चाहिए, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है, and it has to, and I say this because of the disdain towards the fact that our system does not help it, does not recognize. I am not alone, you know, nothing would change if I say it.
Right.
But time and again we have seen, you talk about any systemic measure, mental health, be it in schools for that matter, be it the police stations, be it a hospital. What is the reason behind it? Maybe it's the population that we have. Everyone has some sort of problem. How is your problem bigger than the other? Then what are you going through? In other countries, Kabir, and when I say other country, maybe not far away in Nepal also, for that matter Bangladesh, these things might be taken into consideration, that if you are robbed, suppose I was robbed once on a gunpoint, I mean next day I had to report at work. I mean if I had, or something else, if I apply for, hey look, I am in shock, my colleagues, I mean I'm not saying it in jest, but someone would just scoff at me saying that ye kya hota hai.
I understand.
Okay, but it is a real thing. After all, we are human beings. We have emotions, we have shock, but in other countries, you are given proper treatment for it. Conditioning classes are there, there are therapy sessions that you have to undertake. So, mental issues in India, with such a diverse population, should become a part and parcel of our lives. But unfortunately, I think as of now, it's a very costly affair. Secondly, even the government starts making a mental, psychological departments also available, or psychiatric departments available in all the hospitals, where you can walk in and consult a doctor, not just for once or twice, but on a daily basis. That would rather help a lot in this case.